go.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Into the Wild Coast, a 5th edition Greyhawk adventure. Oh boy, and we're gonna start with Rectus and his character Gar.
Yeah, I'm Gar, total necromancer. I could open up my sheet and see what my personality traits are, but let's face it, I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy in this group.
The token evil teammate.
I'm just saying, if Lael dies, there will be a second token evil teammate.
Ironically, if we die together, I'm going to come back as a paladin, and you're going to have a problem.
I know, it'll be amazing.
Okay, next up we have Griffin.
Hey everybody, I'm playing Baron Kicks the Shield, a cool and calculating Battlemaster fighter. He's a Dragonborn.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we have Justin.
All right, my name is Justin. I am playing Marcus Klein Ollivander. He is not a Dragonborn. And he is not a token evil bad guy. He is a nobleman who was lost and is just going home to see how how the remainder of his family is doing.
Yeah, I'm playing Barakat, the tiefling bard disguised as a human. That some people have kind of picked up on, but then one of them left, so, well.
And finally, we have Robert.
Yep, I'm playing Lael, the elf monk, who is kind of at a crossroads within himself at the moment. He's trying to think about what his next move will be.
So last time we were, talking about not moving to, but going to Greyhawk to deal with a couple of things, including but not exclusively a lost lineage of one of the characters, spent several years, lost, and a quest for perhaps a deck of a very dangerous nature. So, without further ado, you're still in your keep. It is early winter. What are you going to do?
I actually want to see if I can speak to Gar for a quick second.
Okay.
And I'm assuming he'll be in the tower somewhere with his skinwalker and all the other people there and all that stuff.
Yeah, in the basement.
Yeah.
Pointedly, Skinwalker has been instructed for the last month and a half now not to let anybody in.
Well, then I will relay a message to the Skinwalker that Lael wishes to speak to you to ask if there is anything I can do to help you right now.
I feel like this is like a movie tracking scene, right? Like, beginning of episode, cameras over Lael's shoulder. Over Lael's shoulder. Lael's walking along. You see bits of the keep, and it looks like we got some sort of money improvement. The keep looks better, high more depth or something.
It's season 2, so yeah, they upgrade the sets. Yeah,
yeah.
Budget increase keep.
Yeah, the budget's increased. The cast is larger. You know how it is.
HBO gave us some cash.
Yeah, we were successful. That's why.
There was one guy who appeared in like a couple scenes who is now a main cast member, but a different actor who looks a little bit similar.
Or it's the same guy, but he has a different voice. It sounds like somebody's voicing over him for some reason.
They hired a second artist. So now instead of having one overworked, burned out artist, they have 2 overworked, burned out artists.
Hey, soon they can afford 7.
Yeah, but eventually they're going to sell out to go to Star Wars. It's going to be horrible.
True.
Anyway. So yeah, camera follows Lael as he walks to the entrance of the tower, which, you know, isn't actually a tower. Maybe it's an upside down tower, and that it goes down and not up.
It's more of a basement.
Yeah, but technically we're calling it a tower.
Negative tower.
And he passes the message to the Skinwalker, and the Skinwalker is such a fucking idiot. I mean, you could see it looking at him. The dude's a moron. But, and he walks through the dark, the dark stone hallways of the tower, and he goes to the room that Gar is in to relay the message, wherein Gar is placing this decapitated head up on a shelf. With,
Of course.
like, an inordinate amount of care. Like, this head looks like it's decomposing. Like, any wizard would know that Gar is not taking care of the head properly. But Gar is putting it up on a shelf.
Of course he is.
And the Skinwalker relays the message. Gar considers it carefully for a moment. Leaves the dungeon. I'm sorry, tower. Clearly, I have a dungeon. I'm going to consider a dungeon my own head. Yeah. And I go up to Lael, who I assume waited.
Yeah, he would, because that's how patient he is.
By the way, is this the day that we're leaving?
Entirely up to you.
Well,
Yeah, you
I've
haven't
already
decided that yet.
yes, I've already set the calendar clock to the 2-week advance. So if we were leaving at the end of that 2-week, I would just assume that this is that day and that we can go backwards for anybody else that had to spend that 2-week time to do something.
I'll be honest, in my head, I was assuming this was before we were leaving, like maybe a week ahead of time or something. So.
Well, in that case, I'm busy. I don't respond to you. We forgot to get everything I just said.
You bastard.
I spent my 2-week time. I'm only free on that day.
All right, then that day, do you come and see me then at least?
Oh yeah.
All right, what do you say then?
No, and I walk past you and join everybody else as we're leaving.
In Lael's head, you could have just told the Skinwalker, and I just walk away.
Where are you walking to? Aren't you joining the rest of us?
Sure, at my own pace.
Well, then wouldn't you be ahead of us, not behind us?
Either or, really. Let's be real.
I'm always real.
I'm like 90% sure everybody in this party, except maybe Marcus, cannot find me.
I can find you. You're right here.
Not if I go stealth.
Well, I mean, if a person finding you is dependent on you doing something, then sure, why not, right?
Sure.
Ooh, that's
Anyway, I have nothing else. What is the dog doing in the background? He's screwing up my bed. I have nothing else to do. So I guess I will go back to contemplation and then maybe go speak to Kix or Barakat when they're free.
Just want to remind you, Rob. 10 days, you could pray.
I did that already. I got no answer from the Shadow God.
No, I don't remember you saying it out loud, so.
Kix is free to talk. He always makes time for people.
I actually have no reason to talk to Kix. I was just saying, I guess I'll go do that. But
I don't know. I thought you had something in mind. It's fine.
There may be a conversation with Kix. Marcus would be very excited that he is headed back to Greyhawk, and then he'd just be okay. So, do we have everything set? Do we know the path? Are we all good to go? Is everything set to be running here? I really need to buy some new clothes when I get there.
I think last time we were in town, we met a tailor or two. We could show you.
Well, I also have family connections to a couple as well, so I must check there first.
Of course.
To see what they can do.
Well, we're all prepared. We're simply going to head up to Narwhal first and then follow the road all the way up to Greyhawk. We've taken it a few times before. There's usually no problems.
Oh, so we're going through that small the hovel of Narwhal to get back to a proper city.
I wouldn't call it a hovel. It's
Well,
a fine little town.
It's a couple of people who have gathered together and built some things here and there. So no, I understand that you don't understand, topography and demographics.
I suppose you haven't been there for about half a century. Or half a decade, sorry.
Oh, jeez, it has been.
I'm about to imply a lot there.
Now, half a century was almost Braith.
No, I haven't been.
So, then maybe you'll see how it's grown then.
And
In case
and
I'll
yes,
just give you a nice big pat on the back.
and of course I say what I say now, but that is with us in private. When it comes to actual conversation and meeting people, I am trained in the ways of diplomacy for business purposes, so there's nothing to worry about.
Ah, good. Wouldn't want the local tavern keeper to get mad at me hearing this.
Oh, I love tavern keepers. Are you kidding me? They give me alcohol and make sure if I'm belligerent, I know who to buy drinks for.
Exactly. All right.
So you're gonna stop over at Narwhal, right?
Yeah, that's the way we're passing through.
I would.
I don't think we have like a fully official road or anything yet, do we?
No.
No.
There's probably a trail at this point, but
Go
One
ahead,
thing, because this isn't in game, because we just got the calculated experience. Would we be coming into this with that experience?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And also, before we leave, there are a couple things to do.
You have several weeks, so that shouldn't be a.
Yeah.
Well, 2.
Mhm.
Plus, what does it take? It takes a week to get to Greyhawk from here, right?
Also left off on a
Yeah.
cliffhanger.
Did we?
So,
Yes, like
Yeah,
where
we did.
it was like almost like
The whole thing, actually.
it was whatever that scene was going to be, and we were all making fun of it because it was like almost like lovers or something.
I hate all of you.
God,
Yeah, that's
Oh yeah, you were talking to.
I think I'm
See?
in so many games
Yeah.
that I can't remember what one session ends. I literally need every recap.
So
Just do a full session recap every time.
it'll be like that special episode in each season, which is just the clip show.
So yeah, before we go, we should probably do that.
is this cliffhanger? Let's go over it.
So Ikram is waiting. For
last time,
Yeah.
Kix was talking with Ikram about the whole, Scarlet and Black, the two factions, right? And then he left, and then I was gonna talk with Ikram, and that's where we left it, pretty much.
So Ikram is waiting for you to say your piece, basically.
Well, I've been looking for you for quite a while now. I'm first of all, you're alive. That's important. It's,
He chuckles like, yes, usually it is. Yes. It is. At least for me, anyway.
but I found you, and so the reason I came looking for you in the first place was so that you could so that we could do this again. You could teach me more and tutor me in music and such.
He sort of just was a chuckles like, you managed to get yourself in a position in a court. And a frontier, but still a court.
Well,
Then you also managed to track me down to a magical portal. With help, of course, but still. Track through the jungle. Fight your way through an army of Yanti and other things. Rescue me. And bring me back alive. I don't think there's anything I can teach you anymore. Right now, it's not a matter of teaching, it's about using what you know and creating your works.
I mean the
I
whole
could counsel you, I suppose, if you have any questions, but to truly teach one who already is learn it is a waste of time.
surely you have something, right? I mean, you know more than me. You've been doing this longer than me. You know, there must be some things that you couldn't have taught me in that time. I mean, I was young. I was a child.
Okay.
The barony. That's all just luck. I mean,
The gods are
happenstance, really.
the gods favor the bold, I've heard. So, pray tell, what do you think I could teach you?
Well, you know, I haven't mastered this style of playing yet, really. There's that. I don't know all this about uh magic as much as you do. I mean, I've kind of been able to do a few things on my own, but
I see the problem here is not a matter of teaching, it's a matter of confidence, which you've always lacked. You've had the talent, but never the confidence. So much so that when I tell you I have nothing to teach you, you insist that I must teach you. For your mind tells you that without someone else guiding you, you cannot achieve your goals. Let me ask you something. What is your goal? Become better at playing the lute? Be a voice that can be heard across the flanks? Record the greatest histories? What is your goal?
well, I want to play music and to be heard and have people listen to the music that I create.
I can do the following. I could make you some introductions in the city. Perhaps, the season actually, winter, people are what to go to the Grand Opera. And if you have any pieces to debut, then you can try them there.
That's all.
Let's say it's a final test. If you fail, you clearly need more instruction. But if you succeed, you already know the path that you're going to.
So I looked for you for 3 years. The
Here
minute
it
I
comes.
could leave my house, I went out searching for you, and all you're going to do is just give me a test.
Life, my dear students, is always a test. Were not that the first words that I said to you when you came into my observatory? Can you remember that? When you said, Master, please teach me the ways of the lute and song. And my answer was, life is a test. To know what I need to teach you, I need to know where you are right now. You have spent the last 3 years without no instruction, correct? So how am I to know that you need more instruction and ways to instruct you? I have to test you. I have no choice. Put yourself in my position for a moment. You're seeing everything through the eyes of a child looking for a father, instead of looking through a master at the pinnacle of his career. You left a student, a very capable student, who you knew was capable. You had taught him all that he needed to know. After all, you wouldn't have left him behind if there was no reason. And then you're found by him. You reach out to him specifically for help. And he was able to deliver you alive back into the world of the living and the somewhat civilized. And yet this student, which you left and gave him the best of your years to instruct them, demands that you keep instructing him. Having demonstrated the ability to save his former master's life, build a life of his own, and put coin in his pocket. And yet he wants, well, at least you don't lack for, shall we say, well, not greed is too harsh a word, but say
We'll do the
initiative.
test.
Initiative. We'll do the test.
We'll do the fucking test. All right. In Greyhawk.
Of course, you need an audience. These individuals may appreciate some sweet songs, but I don't think they have the fine-tuned ear for what you're about to deliver to them. No more camp songs for you, my friend. This is opera time. Be ready.
He just leaves.
And he shrugs.
Yeah, that's not the spell I wanted. Hold on.
Okay, so that
Yeah.
happened in the
In like the
and he
those
will
two
travel with you to make the introductions and all that. So so he will be there. In the meantime, someone else actually shows up, looking for kicks.
Visitors.
A visitor.
A visitor.
Yes.
We need you to solve all of our problems. Please choose choice A, B, or C.
They will remember this.
Would
Let's
you
see
like
if
to
I-
choose door A or door C?
Let's see if
Before
we-
this goes
Fine.
down, because we would have come into this with a set amount of experience,
Mhm.
you all would have signed my book.
Shadows, with your permission, use an action, write its name. Yeah, you can protect up to 4 people, and reduces 0 hit points, but not killer right. Magically drops to 1 hit point instead. Wow, there you go. Pretty sweet.
That is very
That
nice.
is-
And it
Y'all
covers
in my book.
everyone. Yeah.
But only one person can use it per encounter. I suppose. That's what.
You know what? Gar would not be in your book.
If you don't accept it, there's a spot open.
I understand it's only good things, but at the same time, Gar just escaped a bad situation. Like 3 bad situations at the same time, so...
Yeah, I can see it.
So this young lady essentially goes storming in past the guards. The guard's like, wait, what should we? And it's barreling down toward wherever she was told that Kick is at.
I imagine if we haven't left yet, and this is maybe like a day in advance or something, right? Then he's just hanging around the building,
Mhm.
the main building.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So he sees you. It's like, finally. Where is he?
He who? You wouldn't have me looking for me.
Not that the instant. He goes by the name Barakat.
Bearcat. Oh, yes, I think I do know him. How do you know him?
Is here.
Well, I could always send a message and bring him down here, but I'd have to tell him who's looking for him.
Serdaya. The faster the better. Please.
Very well then.
And the way she says please is like, it's something that you just have to say as opposed to something that you meant to say, right? Just like,
Yeah. Just out of curiosity, because I haven't actually pressed this button yet. Wait, not fighting surge. Fight button.
Well, she's dead.
Total class levels and fighter levels.
okay, you can learn certain information. Well, I think somebody should send you that information covertly.
Yeah, you can do that covertly if you want, but I will be going to find Bearcat and delivering that information and kind of asking, do you know this person?
So you were good with the level that was pre-made?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me fucking DM kicks. So, Dean tells you equal or superior in regard to
Yeah,
Total
the only thing I
class
think that
level.
matters here is total class levels and fighter, if any.
So that's the two that you're picking? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really need to know the rest yet.
Just yet.
And this would be equal, superior, or inferior.
There you go.
Cool.
It's on Discord.
Okay. That's all
Yeah.
I need to know. So, I'm going up to Bearcat then, and I'm going to describe this person I just saw. Came in here very rudely and is demanding your presence. You wouldn't have to know who they are, would you?
Uh, well, I do know that person, I believe. Yes.
Well, they seem to be waiting for you. Should I tell them to wait, or do you maybe not want to meet with them? You seem hesitant.
Well, we don't exactly have the best relationship,
Ah, I see.
but
Perhaps I should ask
why,
for a couple of guards just to stand in the room then.
why
Would
would
that be
she
good?
be out here?
There's only one way to find out, and that'd be to ask.
I guess I can talk to her. Probably.
Alright. She's downstairs over by the fireplace table. I'll go and poke a couple of the guards outside to come inside, just in case.
You know, it is probably unnecessary.
Very well then. What? Your guest is
I'll
here.
just go downstairs.
Kix is sort of just following along right now.
Yeah.
Incredibly curious suddenly.
The first thing you hear, even before you see her, well, two things. You smell a long forgotten smell of spice. It reminds you of your homeland.
Sure.
And you hear like a soft tapping on the stone floor, like a not a Buddhist shoe, but more like a sandal. You know.
All right. Well, here we go. I'll walk down.
So she sees you and she stares at you. So it's like, to burn you down where you stand. But this is not my home or yours, so I will spare your miserable little life. Pick up your things and come with me.
I can't do that.
Why not?
I'm afraid he's under my employ at the time being.
And he's betrothed to me, so your employee can.
Okay. Well,
Well, I never said he couldn't have relationships.
And when you say that, she just makes a sneer, like what you're implying. It's like the lower, like,
Oh God.
Kix is smirking a little bit.
not
you.
entirely true. Look, we're going on a trip.
Oh well, then you're packed and we can go. I saw Ikram on the way in. You can tell him he can come with us as well. He likes.
This is kind of a thing that I can't just leave.
Oh, and she looked around like, has everybody heard that? The Grim and the Cat cannot leave.
I
I thought you
think
were very good at leaving.
Oh, why would you just leave from somewhere without grandly announcing your? I thought you were going to the city.
Well,
why are we talking?
I mean, we are specifically going to do the thing in Greyhawk, so they have requested me to go there with them.
Yes, and I haven't heard any reason why you shouldn't come with me.
Ma'am, if I could take a moment, would you like a drink? I have some wine over here, and maybe you could explain what his responsibilities are to you.
Tea, please.
I'll see if I have some.
Lael has some tea. Would you like me to bring you some?
Oh, Lael, you're a lifesaver. I thought I would
Yeah.
have to go boil a pop myself.
So I run out,
Man.
come back in like 10 seconds because I'm weird.
What a
Anyway,
save.
He
The
takes
man of
it
the
and
hour
he
here.
bows to you politely. At least someone has manners around here. She drinks it and puts it down. Well, I had my tea, so again, I haven't heard anything that precludes you fulfilling your responsibilities.
Well, currently he is under my command and under my fealty, if anything else. I am his baron. So his duties to me would come first, unless there's some explanation about what his responsibilities are here to you.
Who will hold his promise to me in marriage? The
We-
binding of our two families. Remember that?
It's not.
You prefer to serve on the barbaric baron instead of your family, your home, the traditions?
Please, Barbarian was my father's name.
She ignores it. It just her eyes are boring into barbaric. Right? You know, it's like
I just. We were very young when we said things, and neither of us were at all adults at the time or had developed brains. This is.
I would tell you to watch your words and choosing as words very carefully. Go on.
All eyes on him.
This is the kind of stuff Marcus lives
oh
for.
shit! Oh fuck! Oh
Marcus is watching this, loving it.
can I do an insight check on Barakat real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Even though I'm terrible at these.
I'll do
Alright.
one too, just for good measure, as long as I'm here.
Oh wow, I actually did well. 17.
15.
I'm not rolling insight.
I will give Barakat a look of it's okay, like the like as comforting of a look as I can, as in like I got you, don't worry.
All right. This agreement that we decided on is not a look. I was like 14,
Yes.
and we never. I never really understood what these things meant at the time.
Clearly.
And clearly, you're angry at me for not being there and going through with that completely.
Yeah, so your solution to this was to run away like a little boy,
I
which you're still acting like a little boy right now. Trying to run away from your responsibilities.
look. Surely there is something.
Please don't call me short.
God damn it! There is.
She wins.
Oh, I'm gonna
Ugh.
fucking kill myself. Goddamn. All right. There is something else that you're here for. All right. There has to be something else that I can do to make this up to you because I am not ready for that kind of commitment.
How old does this individual look?
Same age.
which is
Early 20s.
okay. Seeing that Bearcat is struggling to deal
Yeah.
with this, Marcus will actually walk a little bit closer. He will appropriately bow. I would like to actually introduce myself, Marcus Ollivander
You
Klein.
start talking, and the thing that she does is like literally she puts her hand out like in your face, like silence, barbarian. I am not speaking to you.
Damn.
You know, it's funny. You call him a boy, yet I see nothing but a petty girl here.
I like this girl.
Jesus Christ.
I, Master Elf, I'm the scion of a very important.
Excuse me. Please choose your words carefully.
Oh, I always do.
So far, you've been failing at that.
Oh, come, Lale, don't be rude to our guest.
Shut the fuck up, Gar.
So, as a member of a proud house, scions of Al Akbar themselves, I was pledged to this individual. And instead of fulfilling their vows, as they should have, as they're honored bound to, or giving a sufficient explanation as to why they should be broken, both contractually and socially, he ran. Now, she turns to Kix. Is this the kind of man that you would have under your purview? A man of dishonor and tricks and lies and cowardice? And turns to Leo's like, I chose all those words, but
And you still choose them poorly, sadly, because you know nothing about the man before you, it seems.
I have yet to see evidence of the contrary. Even though I give him a chance to explain himself.
Then perhaps you should open your eyes more clearly.
You, of course, have my full trust in Bearcat, and he has served me well time and again. I have no question to his character, but of course, I understand if you wish him to fulfill obligations, you're wishing him to leave. Is that correct?
Of course. This is not my home. Taken many months to get here. Track him down. And quite a bit of coin to track him down, I should say, as well.
Well, as it stands, he does still serve me, and will continue doing so for the time being. Perhaps maybe once his time is up here, he might return.
I joined Gar in his position. I was gonna jump in and try and help, but nope.
Now he's on the popcorn side of the fence.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, she offended him.
Kix is just here actively defending you, don't worry. Perhaps once his obligations are done at some point in the future, he might return. However, until then, I believe he will be remaining here. You're welcome to stay, of course. But we'll be leaving to Greyhawk in just a day.
Lael actually turns his head to Kix on that one.
Well, since I've just been instructed to open my eyes and observe what's before me, and you are leaving for this journey to Greyhawk, then I shall join you. So I may observe with my own eyes the character of this individual.
Wonderful. I'm so glad to hear it.
A quick question.
Glad we could reach an accord.
A quick question. She's alone, right? Or does she have like a retinue of
He's alone,
guards with her?
I think, right?
Yes, he's alone.
She's alone. Okay. Because I was actually
already planned the assassination, I see.
well, no, not yet. But it's more so. I was just thinking, like, how the hell did I get away talking her down like that? Usually that would be like cue for like guards like come up with knives and shit, you know?
Yep. And for now, I'll just go ahead, pat Bearcat on the shoulder, and go, well, we should prepare for one extra then.
Yeah.
And I will be right back.
And I also go to Barakat, and I will tell him, meet me later outside.
So I'm so fucked.
She just turns around and leaves to wherever a servant indicates that she might rest. Yeah. For somebody who's so haughty, I mean, she's well dressed, but she's also somebody who has seen, travel, right? She's not,
Yeah,
she's not wearing silks or anything like that. And she is armed.
Is the color scheme as shown?
I think she is dark skinned, but not.
Well, I wasn't
Right.
asking about. I was asking about the color scheme in total. I mean, like, are her eyes neon orange as well as her fingernails?
Yeah, is she actually human, I guess, was the question? Or because it kind of looked
Yeah,
like an
she-
ASMR in the picture.
I mean, I would have guessed SMR, but I wasn't actually caring. I'm just wondering if she was actually as
well-
she appeared to be.
Barakat, what's the answer to that?
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Which one?
It looks very similar to the picture. Maybe with better lighting.
So she's
Not
not
surrounded by smoke.
Yeah.
So she's like an ASMR. She's a human.
Or is she surrounded by smoke and she's a Gensai? I never say
Well,
that name
she's
right.
humanoid.
I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter to me. I'm a giant turtle that married a human woman.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know.
Just happens to have highlights and orange eyes.
and
knows?
orange fingernails.
Okay.
She
well,
did
those-
mention. She did mention that her family. Anybody can do a religion check.
I got this. I think. I
Uh,
actually have I have 3 points in religion.
I got.
Oh man,
I got one.
religion, insane.
Leia
Oh
does
my
well,
god.
particularly when she mentioned Al Akbar. It's very interesting because Al Akbar is a demigod of the Maclunish pantheon, but essentially, although he is, from a divine perspective, lowest rank, he's still a hero demigod to the people of the Maclunish, especially after the events of the twin cataclysms. So he is basically the intercessor god between him and the rest of the pantheon. So when people pray to the gods in the Maclunish, they pray through him.
This actually makes sense because my own god is Baklunish. So
Yeah. So when she said that her family are scions of, that is, children of, potentially direct descendants of Al Akbar, that's a very potent claim.
yeah, she's basically saying that Hercules is my father.
Oh,
Well, more like an ancient, multiple descendants, like someone in Athens would say, "Yes, we're descended from the line of Hercules or Heracles, or my great grandfather was the second son in the womb from Zeus, who came down as a golden shower on
As a
some
golden
princess
shower.
somewhere."
Okay.
Yeah,
There's always a golden shower.
But I mean, that doesn't really matter because unless you're sleeping with your own family members or other gods, the blood dilutes.
so they say.
Interesting.
Well,
All
you
right.
mix
Divine
blood with
blood, though.
water, you just get bloody water.
Which also means that I did just technically tell off somebody who's related to a demigod. So
or claims to be, at least.
yeah,
Oh, is this what the religion checks were for? I was about to
Yeah.
ask if we could make a history nobility kind of check.
I think that's the wrong system.
It might very well be, honestly.
History nobility is Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking that nobility. You're thinking like heraldry. That would be academics, wouldn't it? Wait, just yeah.
We've been fitting a lot of stuff into history just because there's no other good analog.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How is
And there's no
Mark?
academics. I'm thinking wrong system too.
How's
Yo.
Marcus looking?
Marcus is beyond it. He doesn't have any proof of what she is or if she's is anything that she claims. He just looks anxious to get going.
All right. Well, I go outside and I wait for Barakat.
Yeah. After a little bit, I guess I go outside.
Oh, she let you get
Yeah.
out of her sight.
Not that she left.
What is it? Lyle?
I have my eyes closed as you're speaking because it looks like I'm kind of doing my meditation. And I just say, come sit down for a second.
Okay. I take a seat next to him.
Is she who you fear?
What?
Is she who you fear?
What does that even mean?
Well, you fear something. You fear a lot of things. Is she one of them? My eyes are closed, by the way. I'm just talking to you as I'm sitting there.
Okay. I mean, not exactly.
What do you fear?
Why are you asking me this?
Because we need you to overcome it.
True. Well, not really. Her. Look, I don't really have time for this right now.
There's always time if you make it. Please, just sit for a bit. Think. Try to open your mind for a second. You've had a busy day today, obviously, with your random betrothed probably crossing miles to get here.
Yeah, that was a surprise. All right, I'll give you 2 minutes.
2 minutes is often all you need to clear your head.
So I'll take 2 minutes.
So we like. Go
Leo,
ahead.
you kind of hear a whisper from the shadows and says,
Oh, about fucking time.
the certain opportunities should not be missed. It's a female voice.
Yeah, I'm presuming that's Jeannier.
I mean, it's a voice that comes from the shadow. When you listen to it, it's it could be. Or it could be somebody messing with your mind magically, but which kind of fits on you in a way. So
yeah. In my head, I guess I think back. Is this really an opportunity worth taking, though?
on that you get no response.
Yeah. And I ask, as we're sitting there for a minute, I ask Barakat, how am I gonna phrase this? I gotta phrase this carefully. Can you come back to me for a quick second?
Sure.
Okay.
I gotta think about what I'm gonna say here.
So yeah, Kix, for example, she asked to serve in, and she got in some quarters. You see that Akram apparently noticed what's going on, kind of raises an eyebrow. Goes like, oh, and says something you don't know by Clunish, but says something. But the tone of it's an interesting tone, like he's considering something. And there's that. People are gathering what you guys would need. Are you going to go just by yourselves? Oh, aside from Gar bringing his retinue.
I haven't actually remade my retinue. I am solo at the moment.
Okay. But aside from that, are you going to bring any soldiers? Are you going to have to travel in a caravan? Or are you just going to take horses? How is it just walk?
Going to Greyhawk, probably just walk. I do still have a cart and a donkey.
Yeah, they're in the stables. Yeah.
So we could always bring that and go into Greyhawk in style, of course.
In very noble style, sure.
Super rustic.
I mean,
Look,
a long
you
time
want
ago, I bought a riding horse. I still have a riding horse.
Yeah, Gar can take his riding horse.
600 pounds.
But I mean, you want a royal procession? You got a royal procession money?
I think at some point I exaggerated how much I weigh. I weigh 400 pounds, not 600.
All right.
All right.
This lying, deceiving turtle.
Yeah, don't get near me. I'll follow you. I'm like 600 pounds.
As you are shouting out into your head, lying, deceiving turtle,
That's not in character.
I know.
Yeah.
Lale will actually, his eyes still closed. He'll ask you, why do you hide yourself?
Huh?
I'm assuming you're still wrapped in your garments
Yeah.
like you have been since I've met you. It's as if you choose not to be seen, or try not to be seen. You know, that is something that I can do very easily, but only in times where I think it's necessary. Why do you choose that?
I stand up. It's just a cultural style of clothing.
And
I
yet
don't
my
know what-
familiarity with Bakunish culture and most of the region, even I could understand removing it in times of need.
I mean, it's not like I never take clothes off or anything. It's just you seem to be making miscalculated inferences.
I don't think I'm sorry you feel this way. I'm actually hopeful that maybe we could work a little bit together here.
What do you mean?
This woman could be very dangerous.
And
Well, we need to prove her wrong so she'll leave you be.
well, you didn't exactly help the first time.
Actually, I did. Now she has no excuse other than her own eyes. It now sets upon you, your goals, your needs. You've already accomplished a lot. I know you can achieve it. But it's now a question of what do you wish to achieve for yourself?
Well, at least I already know that much.
That's good then. But the next step then is understanding what stops you from achieving it. This is why I ask, what do you fear?
Well, I have to make sure everything is good to go with kicks. So I'll be off now.
Think about what I said. Hopefully it helps. And Lael literally does not turn his head to you. His eyes are still closed.
He's
Yeah.
using the force. Don't tell anyone.
No, I don't have that kind of insight. At this point, though, I'm under the impression that Lael knows something is wrong, but I don't think he actually knows what Hugh knows. You know what I mean?
Sense. That
So-
would make sense.
I'm trying to figure it out without, like, forcing it, if that makes
Yeah,
any
sure.
sense. So anyway, you guys can go do whatever you want now.
Also, I don't write my name in the book.
Oh, I write my name. I don't care.
Okay.
I'm most
Whoever-
likely the one that's going to go down anyway.
Whoever
Just literally
chooses not to,
introduces
that's
himself
cool.
everywhere he goes. He doesn't care.
I can't. Look, it's just not as important for me. You know, if Kicks were about to die or something, you know, that makes more sense. But
I've got the group covered. Like there's space, but Kix is still in there.
it's
You're
it's
clearly
fine, really.
you're clearly trusted. Now, if you're too scared to, I fully understand that one. But if you want to be, if you think you're just being too tough because you know you can take any blow, then
That's
we could
not true
test
at
that.
all. I'd rather not actually get
I'm-
injured.
I am just stating facts that I've noticed, but if you feel how you feel, you know what? Go on living with such reckless abandon. And I'll walk away on that note.
Okay, dude. Sure.
God, this is
Psychological
like-
manipulation.
This is like Barakat's worst day ever.
Yeah, it sure fucking is.
Well, what a horrible day it is to have a beautiful woman show back up in your life.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
a noble, man.
He is a noble.
My go-to is psychological manipulation, even though I don't realize it. Character.
So
think the world's
as
gonna
you're
explode.
you're
Wait,
you're all ready to go, and she's gonna go with you. She said she does have a horse, a riding horse.
Oh, perfect.
Essentially, it's a you can tell that it's not from this region. It is a tall, very lean horse. You have animal. Anybody has animal handling? Barricade will recognize
Nope.
the type of horse it is, but anyone else who has that animal handling will have to roll to see what type of horse it is.
You have to have it like checked to use
Yes.
it, right? Okay, yeah, I don't have that done.
Barricade, you know that this is a horse. It's one of the racing horses that are particularly known for being very swift and hardy in being able to survive with less water and harsh conditions. Not known for being very strong. Well, they're still horses, of course,
Mhm.
but certainly be able to travel long distances. And out here, they're very prized because they're very rare.
Okay.
So you travel first to Narwhal. Are you gonna visit or stop by anybody to see anyone in Narwhal?
I have no ties here, or no reason to.
I think the alchemist has actually moved to our stronghold, if I remember our last
Yes.
talk. So who's left in Narwhal right now?
the boy from the tavern owner, his dad. I don't know, unless something happened with that whole bandits
No.
deal where they were doing things with the barrels.
We have
Yeah.
a whole section of Narwhal. So
Yeah.
What's
And-
his name? The elf guy who
that's
runs the
Greyhawk.
town.
Yes.
The Shire Reeve.
Your former boss, basically.
Other than that, I think we took anybody of value with us.
I mean, Firebear is still there.
Yeah,
As I said,
think
I believe we
Firebeard
took
and
anybody
Donovan-
valuable with us.
She's the head of the clan that's been helping and is also in the mines.
Yep.
Yeah, so-
As I said, I think we took anybody of value
Oh.
with us.
roasted.
Just don't
Yep.
say that out loud to Firebeard, but you will anyway.
Yeah, I think
Right.
Firebeard and Davin are the two I'd probably stop and talk to. Firebeard because we're clearly friends and like half co-workers in the same profession, and Davin just because it's been a bit.
Just for record keeping, how long does it take to get from our
Oh.
place to Narwhal?
Well, actually, Kix.
Oh,
Wait, hold on. Let him answer this question real quick.
Okay, you're here, so it takes about what 4 hours to traverse.
Less than a day. Okay, never mind.
Less than a day, yeah. Well, actually, no, Narwhal is here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Takes about a day or so.
All right, so I'll just
No
mark this
trouble.
a day ahead.
Yeah. So you will have to rest in Narwhal. You're gonna be pretty tired.
Kix, does what's his name who owns the tavern? He was the one that was close to Braith. Does he know that Braith is dead?
He probably has known. Yeah, it's been like what, half a year now.
I'm just checking.
Yeah, I don't think we would have kept that like a secret or something. We probably would have gone to Narwhal, told people at some point, and had a drink.
This is Luke Davenport, who was a close friend of.
Yeah, so getting a drink there is probably a good idea too. So Kix is having a good time just catching up with everyone then.
So basically, the tavern, it was called the Gateway, and it's close to one of the. It's around. Let me see where it's.
Hey, I still have a bunch of rooms open for myself. It hasn't been a full year yet.
So it's somewhere around here.
So I basically have rented half of the tavern's inn, or whatever the inn's rooms for the year.
I guess we're staying there tonight.
They see this, like they actually don't recognize you first, even though you're a turtle, because you're not wearing your cloak.
Yes, I'm so unrecognizable. It was the cloak that defined me. You might not understand. then my
Also, they
head
haven't
isn't
seen-
even close to humanoid or even reptilian like everybody else's.
They haven't seen you 6 months as well, so they're like, Master God?
I mean, even
No, so-
then,
They don't want to make the mistake of going like, yeah, every
every turtle.
know.
How many turtles have you seen?
One, apparently.
yeah, at least one.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so if one alien landed on Earth and then didn't come back for another 6 months, I think you'd remember the one alien you've seen in your whole life.
It should still be another alien from the same race.